Two unbeaten teams in college basketball. The Racers of Murray State. They're 19-0 as they get ready to play Southern Illinois Edwardsville today. Aside from Syracuse, the only unbeaten team. They're now 19-0. Got to update all the signs. Isaiah Kane has been outstanding. He's averaging more than 18 points per game. He's second in the Ohio Valley Conference. As the guys have talked about, this is a balanced team. Multiple threats on the offensive end, and they've got a very favorable conference schedule coming up the next 7 games against teams in their conference, all of whom are outside the top 200 in the RPI. Now, Murray State isn't exactly long on household name alumni. There is Joe Fulks. He's a college basketball Hall of Famer and early pioneer of the jump shot. Then there's also the actor W. Earl Brown. Who's that? Well, he played Warren in the movie There's Something About Mary. Have you seen Warren's basketball team? They're really good. They're undefeated. I guess there's a little something about Murray, too, as you will find out, as ESPN gives you an all-access look at Steve Prohm in his first year with the Racers.
Typical day in the life of a coach. I don't sleep as much as I used to. As an assistant coach, I could get to bed I'd go to bed a little early. I'd go to bed at 10:30, wake up at 7, and head to the office and sleep easy. As an assistant, as a head coach now, you toss and turn a little bit more. When you wake up, you got 100 things run through your mind. As an assistant, I live kind of down that way to the right, a little bit different. After living in apartments and dorms your whole life. The best thing about Murray, Kentucky is it's a simple way of life and simple living. This is a unique spot here in town, is the Dairy Queen right up here. It's only open 6 months a year. The line will be across the road some nights. You can see right over here, so the arena, the CFSB Center, it's nicknamed the bank. And the biggest thing we try to sell here is our tradition. 24 consecutive winning seasons, 14 trips to the NCAA tournament, 7 trips to the NIT, 22 Ohio Valley Conference championships. You can go down the line. What's up, folks? How you doing? What's up, Coach? What's going on? It's Wednesday morning. We play Jacksonville State tomorrow night. Very good program. It's ironic. Coach Green, the head coach over there, he was an assistant at Alabama when I was a manager there. So I'll have every game Jacksonville State's played this year. I'll have the pre-game edit, and then I'll have last year's post-game edits and pre-game edits. So if I want to go back and look at what we did last year against them, what worked against them, what didn't work, what they hurt us on, what we hurt them on, I've got all this access. When I got the job, I put a letter out to everybody in the community, because the community was really has embraced me to my time here, my five now going on 6 years here, just thanking them and just letting them know how much I appreciate being here. The people here really appreciate what you do, and they appreciate your players, and they take an immense amount of pride in this program. What's up, Howard? Good. How you doing? What's going on, man? You doing all right? This is the Suter family right here. Generations of fans here. We've got our former players table right here. From 2010 back to 1970?
Thanks, Steve.
1950. A little bit of everything. The program's been good since, you look in the arena, the program's been good since 1950 to 2011, man. It's been from a span of 60-something years.
Yeah, there hasn't been probably 3 or 4 teams that really weren't competitive at that amount of time.
Yeah. Why do you think, Scott?
Tradition. I think there's an expectation that whenever you become a player or an athlete at this university, that we've got to play at a certain level. And that's the one thing that I think is carried over from day one from these guys to me, now to me through Tenero and now the guys today.
And these boys put on that blue and gold. I always tell them, when you put that blue and gold on, you become part of the family. Right. And you're our family from now on.
What's your best memory here?
I remember my freshman year when Garrett Bashir was playing here, and he was 32 years of age. He'd been to the Army. And we played Dayton. Dayton was rated in the top 10 down and played them down here, beat them. And after the game, somebody asked their players, what happened to you? And they said, oh, some damned old man, 40 years old, scored 40 points.
Family atmosphere around Murray, Kentucky, and you see what they have in front of them over the next 5. Great opportunity for the Racers to remain undefeated. We asked Joe Lenardi, where should the Racers be seated, assuming that they maintain this pace?
There's really only one question to answer when it comes to Murray State. How high can the Racers go? What seed can Murray collect on Selection Sunday? Particularly if it seems at least probable that the Racers run the table and go undefeated into selections. I think you have to compare Murray to some historical teams vis-a-vis their record, their strength of schedule, and seeding. George Washington in 06, 27-1, got an 8 seed with a bad non-conference schedule. Princeton way back in 98, only 1 loss, got a 5 seed coming out of the Ivy League. I think this Murray State team is going to be in the 5 or 6 range. And that's not something that's going to be good news to their loyal fans. But when you really look at who they've beaten, Southern Miss, Memphis, and Dayton, those are all double-digit kinds of bubble seeds, and there's no other scalp opportunities for the Racers to get. So I think they can get as high as a 4, but if I was betting on it today and they go undefeated, I think you'll see Murray State as a number 5 seed on Selection Sunday.
Reasonable position to take. Murray State is a 5 seed if they go into the tournament undefeated.
Yes, I mean, and I don't know what the committee's going to do, but I don't think they should look at it from a historical perspective. They look at it as to this year. How good do you think Murray State is? You know, they've already beaten Dayton, they've beaten Southern Miss, they've beaten Memphis at Memphis. It's a team that's very, very good. And I would put them in right now. They'd be one of the top 4 seeds to me. They wouldn't be any lower than a 4 seed. Now, who knows if they wind up losing a game or 2 toward the end of the season, maybe that shifts. But you can't tell me that's not one of the top 16 teams in the country. I think it is.
As good as you can be as a team, and have great guards and everything else, you've got to get challenged. That's why I like Temple playing Maryland today. Last year, Connecticut, during the Big East season, they played Tennessee and they played Texas on the road. You got to go out and get challenged. Murray State, when we do Bracket Buster Saturday that weekend, they got to have a challenge at home. They need an outside conference to come in there and really, really test them. Otherwise, in my opinion, if they're a 12, every year we see, or 5, every year we see 12-5 upsets. That's not going to shock me to see them get knocked out after a 5 seed by a 12 getting in at the last moment.